Hey, what's up? It's Tangy. Um, I just wanted to call and say hi. I woke up and I was just thinking about you. So, um, you're probably sleeping. Well, maybe not sleeping. Let me not be presumptuous. It's hot Atlanta down there. You may be having the time of your life, but it's 5:22 a.m. um, if you are sleeping, I hope you're dreaming about something incredible. And if you're partying, I don't know how she's got really thick legs and that she's just a pole and not on your pole. So I'll see you really soon. And it's cool to miss you. All right, bye.
This one's from Mike Brown, Eric Brown.
They can't see me.
When I say hands up, you say don't shoot. Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Let them hear you, Missouri. Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Thank you, family.
Students greeted me with the best hug, said I didn't remember them, I could stay there for nice. Thank 6 for 20, heard it. So my love, let's talk Massap hair. K-Massap, what's going on? What's going on, K-Mass?
K-Mass here is back from vacationing all summer and is ready to grind out. Currently I have 2 projects that I'm working on. 2 different salons in downtown, and I recently moved to Bed-Stuy, so I'm working on with a company called Pampering Under One Roof in Bed-Stuy. Here you go, excuse me.
Oh, thank you. Yep, I'm gonna grab mine.
Pampering Under One Roof, that's my latest project, and I want everyone to come check me out in Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy to my dad.
Nice. Are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook?
I am on Twitter, K-Mass Hair on Twitter, K-Mass Hair on Instagram, and Keisha Massap, M-A-S-S-O-P on Facebook.
Nice. Okay, no, really. This is some bull. I didn't come all this way to not see what D'Angelo looks like right now. I want to know if he's Big D'Angelo or Big D'Angelo. So let's see if I can do this on the camera.
You know the neighbors that involves your mind will never have to see you cry now, because you listen to their lies. Our love has died.
Must not be but so big, because I don't see him yet, sorry. feel thirsty until you remember the How Does It Feel video and you just want to know. Verdict's still out. We don't know. Have to check the footage. It's dope though. Watch.
I done seen some eye candy tonight, girl. I said I might have to get in trouble. I ain't looking for no relationship right now. Girl, I just got single too.
I like your wall.
Fun.
Did you paint that?
Painted, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
It
Very
adds
cute.
some character to the place.
It does.
And I'm like, what's in here? Did I clean before I leave? I'm scared to go into rooms.
This is really
Oh, I
cute.
like your Muhammad Ali there.
Huh?
Is that I like your Muhammad Ali here? Is that what gets you going in the morning?
From college, Rasu, he lives upstairs with his family, and he called me one day like, oh, I want some of your curry chicken. And I was like, all right, cool, but I'm apartment hunting. So he's like, oh, the apartment downstairs is available, so come live here and make me some curry chicken.
I know that's right.
And this is one of his first, he's a curator. He was in college, he did IST computers and all that stuff, but found his passion, which is art. He works for a nonprofit, and they do lots of artwork, and this is one of his first pieces that he bought in London, like as a print.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And so now he has so much art, he passed it on to me, and it's in my shitter.
Nice. Your shitter. It's okay. Muhammad Ali made it into the shitter.
And I've only been here for 4 months.
Oh, that's what's
And
up.
I've been traveling most of the summer. So I've just been back like, cause you gotta get your life. Like, stop living out of bags, unpack all these suitcases, pack away all your stuff, and then my favorite part of the apartment.
This is so cute. I love it.
I'm supposed to,
But don't gloss past the workspace either.
Oh yeah, this is my work
'cause
home office.
Work home office. Let's get your hair did.
Get your hair done.
K-Mass hair. Yeah.
You're not supposed to be with the boo, but
I
this
love it.
is where I get dressed in the morning.
I love it.
This is where the magic. You see on MTV Cribs when everyone lays on the bed and they're like, "This is where the magic happens." Right here in this little like 4x5 space is where my magic happens in the morning. This is where I do everything. So deodorant kind of goes on here. Then I get my
love
lotion, and like I get all the stuff together that I want to put on my face, and I spray like 12 million perfumes on. And then it's time to hit the streets.
I love it.
Nice.
love
Then
it.
you're
I
ready.
love this space.
Then
is
you're
so
ready.
awesome.
Yeah,
really
it's cute.
is.
It's cute.
This is awesome.
I'm prepping for the new partner. Prepping for the new partner.
Prepping for the new
is.
partner.
Oh, Lordy.
Whoever he is.
I'm an immigrant. My parents are Jamaican. Moved here as a first generation. I didn't come here until I was 8, 9 years old. And so I was taught work hard, not smart, right? And so by the time I looked around in corporate, I went to Syracuse for undergrad, did PR, and then by the time I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm not being promoted. I'm still like a coordinator, and then I'm an account exec, and I'm supposed to be like director level now. And I was like, maybe I just don't know how to do this stuff, but hair was always my passion, and so I did that. And then now, like with moving and breaking up and all the changes, I'm just like, did you do the right thing? But I did. I look around my apartment.
It's beautiful. You did the right thing.
Amazing.
It is so the right thing. It's so you. In fact, dare I say, and I hope this doesn't sound judgmental because I don't mean it to be, it's more you than your last place.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Your last place was
so
cute, but you could
warm.
tell it was just like you and Ty's place. And it was more of a just kind of like, as it was slightly more nondescript.
Yeah.
It was cute still, but it was more nondescript. And it had like a cute item here, cute item there. But this is like the whole thing. This is very cute. I love it.
Oh my God. Like I said, I was with him for like 3 years, and he was like, we spoke every morning, every lunchtime, after work, before I went to bed. So I'm like 5 days, 7-day week. And it's like now it's like nothing. But I needed that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what now? You know what I mean? It's like my life is opening up. So I have to embrace that, but I'm afraid of it, you know? So it's like, you know, feel the fear but do it anyway. So and it's like I'm seeing, like, I'm really holding myself back. Because I have so much talent, there's so many opportunities, and I'm like not doing anything because I'm afraid. Because I'm like, it's me and my children.
Normally
So I'm
you
like,
guys too, who are the most successful in corporate America, that are so afraid to make that leap. Like, out of all of the wonderful girlfriends that I have, Tangi included, like Nakia, Zakia, Tracy, Akuya, and Alicia, I'm the only non-attorney. And when I say I'm the only non-attorney, it's not any bad thing. I'm talking about these girls are Ivy League graduates or whatever, but I was the first one to say, you know what, I'm over this shit. I'm out of here. And I remember Nakia calling me specifically and saying to me, like, what are you doing? You need to go find like a 9-to-5 and stop playing. And I was like, my lights were turned off. And Nakia had moved to Dubai. Z was at Pepper. Alicia was at some big firm, like Goldman Sachs. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go do hair. It sounded like the best idea at the time. But now 7 years later, when everyone is like trying to pursue their passions and getting off the Ferris, the wheel and the rat race, they're like, you were so smart to have done that. And I was just like, Naki says to me too, and I always refer to her, Naki's my friend from we were like 12 years old. So she's like the yin to my yang. She was like, I said, yeah, you came to me with your fear. She was like, I know, I didn't even know. I was so fearful. And fear will cripple you. But you know what, I still wake up, it cripples you, but it can motivate you. Because I wake up in the morning and I'm like, is your rent paid? How you gonna pay your rent? How is your rent getting paid? And so it drives you to go out and find the next thing.
The other day I was like, I really wish that I had like just someone that I could just like not even depend on financially, but just to depend on mentally and like emotionally. Just be like, okay babe, this is what I'm doing now. And just kind of like someone rooting in my corner. Like I don't even want to do it for me. I just want someone rooting in my corner. You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck, you know?
Okay. So there is something else though, right? There is, this is Black August. So lest we forget that there is a history and a legacy of oppression of Black women that, you know, we don't have to get all deep and philosophical into necessarily, but we have to at least acknowledge that part of our fear is something that is rooted in something. It's not like we're just fearful just because. We're fearful because, like Erica said, you have the kids, you have the bills to think about, and you've been left, you know, to support them at least as primary caregiver for 3 kids, and that's real, and I know it because I am too, right? So it's not that I don't have a husband or ex-husband now that is also caring for his kids, right? Because I don't want to rule that out. I just mean that, like, you know, you have the burden of what goes down in your household.
The everyday shit.
All right, you got the burden of your household and what that means. So, okay, Keish. You also have had your share of
Disappointments,
maybe disappointments. I'll let you frame it because it's your framing, right? So you're coming out of a relationship, and tell me what it's like to either seek a new partnership now or to reflect on what that partnership was.
You know, any new chapter in my life I find exciting. So it's exciting, but prior to the excitement, prior to me accepting the excitement and settling into it, I was angry for a long time. And to the point of like, what drives some of the things that holds us back and fears that, you know, you're constantly being told that you need a partner. You're constantly being told that, you know, this makes it easier. And not only are you being told, you kind of feel like it's true. Like when you come home from work, you kind of do want someone to, you know, share your day with, or like put your feet on and just rub it. And as we were talking, you guys have made me feel so good about my apartment, and it's a beautiful space, but this is where I was supposed to be living with someone else and sharing this, and now it's just me. So waking up in this space is also a constant reminder to me about where I am, what needs to be done, and where I'm going. I always say, we look this way, and I encounter some of the same things that you do. Primarily, most of my girlfriends are of a darker complexion than me, and so I'm very familiar with the rhetoric. And even growing up in the Bronx, I used to always have my own prejudices that I will be honest about. And we didn't like the light-skinned, curly-haired girls because that's what my friends didn't like. Until I realized I was one of the light-skinned, curly-haired girls, right? But it didn't. But I felt the same way my sisters felt, like. Why are light-skinned girls getting all the attention? Like, what's that about? But at the same time, I do feel the resistance with it. And then the second thing that I wanted to touch on is that word bougie. Tangi, this will be good because even in my last relationship, one of the disappointments that I got is that there was name calling in the relationship, and one of the names that I was constantly called was bougie.
What does that mean? Like, let's dissect that, because I'm always called that, and I'm like, so if you're bougie, that means you're aspiring to be in a certain class that you don't belong to. So who gets to define what class I am, where I belong, or where I mean. And
so now the conversation and Tracy and I had this conversation. Tracy did was in the last episode of Scheherazade, and one of the things she said, why can't it just be what I like? I like to go to different countries and travel and see what other people live like and look like and eat and try different foods. I also like Boston baked beans from the bodega. It's just what I like. And I've had close friends call me bougie and then come to my home and see me eating like Excelsior snack crackers or water crackers from Jamaica with like cheese that comes in the can. And they're like, you eat that? It's what I like. I also like, what did I have tonight? I also like clams. Like, you know, and why I think the word in our community, it started from people who broke the barrier earlier than others and kind of separated themselves from what was going on at the time, and that's where the phrase, and that's my opinion, coined itself. But in a relationship, I don't understand how it was applicable. I think maybe communication, because of the way, like you said, you were called bougie because my first impression of you when I met you tonight, because it's the first time we met, she's articulate, she's smart, and she talks like me. And it's kind of like, when I say she talks like me, I'm not saying that you sound like me or you whatever, but it's like we speak the same language. I can talk to this girl. Like, we're speaking the same language versus, you know, I can identify with some of my sisters who don't necessarily speak my language, but it's more difficult. Why? Because they end up getting threatened by me. Why? Because they think I'm bougie. And I'm like, no, I'll eat a corner store sandwich with you with some salt and pepper and some oil and vinegar on it any day, honey. But at the same time, I'm about motivation, being driven. And if those are the things that mean bougie, then I'm bougie.
But see, my thing is, I always dissect that because I'm like, so for me to be bougie, that means that, I guess, inherently, people of color, or black people in particular, are supposed to just
act a certain
be
way.
poor.
Yeah,
and
be poor. Because I'm so glad.
More.
I'm so glad you said that. Be poor and not aspire. Because my version of bougie, oh my God.
And let's look at the historical significance of that. Like, I was like, what are you saying? Like, I mean, here's the best thing. Oh, you talk white. What does that mean?
Exactly. Educated. Educated. That's what it means. It means educated. That's the reality of it. Because for me, and I know this to be a fact, because my version of bougie is not bougie. It's oh, you're such a professor. You know what I mean? Oh, you're so educated. You're so, and I literally get from black people like, okay, Dr. Gilliam. And I'm like, I'm sorry, when did it become insulting to pursue education? And isn't that the very thing we're supposed to be promoting? But I get it all the time. I mean, I get it everywhere. Just literally, like, you know, we were talking about Black August, and we were talking about revolutionaries, and we were talking about revolutionary action. It's all caught up in that. Like when a revolutionary calls somebody bougie, what they're saying is you are educated, you work in a position of affluence, no matter what it is you do or where you work or what, you know what I mean? And by virtue of the affluence, okay, yeah, you also have some nice stuff. And so that's why bougie gets identified with the stuff. But no, it's actually a comment on how much you have succeeded at in life. That's awful.
No, it's kind of like that whole syndrome in high school or in grade school where it's like popular to sit in the back of the class. You know what I mean? Like all the black kids, like you sat in the front, you were a nerd. No, that's like where you want to sit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it really, and it's like for me, you know, the community that I live in is probably like 3% African American, and I'm around all, not even people, not even like Asians or Latinos. I'm around white people, and it's so sad to me because they totally appreciate what I do, the successes I've had so far, and they support me and they promote me. Whereas but you know, I would prefer, although I appreciate diversity, I want to be around my own. Like even for my own family, it's like, oh, you know, she thinks she's this, she thinks she's that, and I'm like, dude, like really? Like how about I'm breaking barriers, I'm blazing a trail, I acknowledge the support that you've given me to get me where I am, but and someone needs to set a standard for those who are going to come behind us about to raise the bar to the next level. So there's so much that's going on in our community right now that, I mean, and who's going to start the dialogue?
It's layered. It's layered, but okay. It's layered, but it's also, and that's why, you know, Scheherazade pushes a couple buttons, because the reality is, yes, I could talk about race until I'm blue in the face. It's what I was trained to do. But you're masking race inside of this larger conversation about family, about networks, about friendships, about relationships. And I want to take it back there for a second, because I feel like those core fundamental heterosexual relationships are at the defining point for a lot of this stuff we're talking about. Like, we would like to pretend like it's oppression that stems from the workplace. Nah, because even that depression as it stems from the workplace, like if you look at it theoretically, you're like, well, that started on the slave plantation. These are economic barriers that were also about relationships at the beginning. They were about like who was coveted most on the plantation, who was sought after by the master, who wasn't, who was the worker by virtue of appearance alone.
How would emasculate our men?
Yeah, hell yeah. It was about the demasculation of black men, definitely, right? You know what I mean? And so, okay, give it.
It perpetuates itself now, because I saw it manifest itself in my relationship. And one of the things that I think it did in my relationship is like, it created some sense of competition between us.
Wow.
It created what I felt was like language that was hurtful in the sense of what him as a black man even thought he deserved. I was told in my relationship that I need to go be with a college-educated white boy. That was my reaction. Now, I know as women we've talked, and I'm open to dating outside of my race, but my experience has been limited. I've dated Latino men, and African American men. I'm Jamaican, and so that's been my exposure. Recently I started being interested in Caucasian, but I haven't really like taken it.
I was just telling her tonight, that's my next goal. I'm like, 'cause I feel like,
and it's unfortunate because of a couple of reasons. Like one, and it's fortunate too, because we're coming into a more homogeneous world where like we're all merging and becoming one, and maybe that will kill the race thing, but I know that black and anything makes black, except for maybe ginger. Ginger and black may still make ginger.
Hold on, ginger and black. Can you explain the context?
Okay.
For ginger and black.
So, if we all know the quintessential formula is if you mix black, the black race with any race, you're going to get some type of African baby, African Asian, African American. But if you do it with African Caucasian, but if you have like an Irish with red strong genes and you mix it with black,
they might come out black.
they'll just end up in Irish.
I had no idea what you were talking about, because I didn't even know what ginger meant. Did you know what ginger meant? I was like, ginger. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, well, there's a lot of racist ethnicities that cook with ginger. God, I get it now. But thank you for the explanation. Thank you for the explanation.
They call themselves a ginger. I don't think I'm being like racist.
It's probably just Brooklyn. But we are on an upswing.
Yes.
Because all three of us fought our way out of our last relationship. We did it. we fought our way out, we boxed our way out, and we're not being weighed down by it. And you know, what we learned as little girls was that fighter spirit counted for something. That's why I you know, and it's the joke of it all is, okay, fine. There are going to be 10 million other things that people think is more revolutionary than the conversation we're having. Ferguson is more revolutionary. Afro punk was more revolutionary. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just putting out what people are gonna think, right? But this is revolutionary. Like, how about just boxing your way out? How about we were the generation whose moms told us, like, don't put up with that shit. Don't put up with that shit. Leave that shit right there on the fucking elementary school playground. Know that there's a difference between, like, what you should settle for and what you shouldn't. Know that you're tough enough, right, to throw your hands up and box your way out if you need to.
But see, that's the thing is that
we benefited from that.
Tell me that.
Your mom didn't. Yeah, and I met your mom.
My own.
I met your mom.
I was on my face, and then I got up and was like, my fucking nose is broke. I have a black eye. I think I fell on my arm and broke that shit. And I was like, okay, hobbling along for the last 4 years to where I am now. So not only did I fight my way out of that shit, I fought against the tide that was trying to push me back. I was like, oh no, I gotta go. And I'm finally at a place now that it's like, on my way out of that situation that I was in before, I met my most recent ex. And it was like, he supported me and loved me. And he was like, exactly, he was like, and now you can't give that to me. And I'm like, that's not it. This is, you're not giving yourself what you need. That's kind of depressing.
Depressing or revolutionary? Keisha.
I see it. I mean, it's because we are the first going through it. It's a little bit of both. I'm excited. I love my life. Like, when I broke up with my boyfriend in April of this year, I was really down and dejected. But then you have to open your eyes to the opportunities being presented to you and that are around you. God does this. Like,
God.
The tension is there, but that fear pushes you. And the thing is, what I want you to consider, Erica, is that emotion that you're feeling is not depression. It's what is driving you to do what the hell it is that you need to do. Because once you change your point of view on what that thing is, every time it visits you, it'll push you instead of crippling you.
Won't he do it?
Huh?
Won't he do it?
And it's we always think, when I was younger, because I was supposed to be married at 25, right?
Okay, 25.
I had kids with the white picket fence. And at that time, you were like, well, I've only lived a quarter of my life. We're only 10 years past that point. Take the pressure off, son. Yeah. And you, less than me, because you got your babies.
I've been married. I've done it. I mean, for me, it's not
it's the partnership. It's the companionship. It's like, I definitely get that.
It's like a natural human emotion to just want love.
And
it's like, and not only that, it's like.
But I like what you said. I like what you said about wanting intimacy, because I feel like the one thing I am getting right with my straight up booty call.
I need one.
I'm just saying. Hold on, hear me out.
My friends call me Prudence. I'm so like outgoing and extensive on the outside, but when it comes to intimacy,
exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Raised like, or even just hooking up. I mean, I want to hook up.
But intimacy, because there's a difference. Like, you get the occasional partner that's not somebody you're deeply committed to, and they're not deeply committed to you, and you still can have sex and not have intimacy.
Okay.
But the ones that benefit you the most are the ones that, like you said, just respect who you are professionally, mentor who you are professionally in some cases, give you advice, give you intimacy, give you an ear to listen. They're even better than, unfortunately, what some husbands are, because that, like, they're not competing with you for anything. They're not competing with you for your hand in marriage. They're not competing with you. And it doesn't mean that this is the answer. I don't want to, present it like this is the answer. I just mean that no matter what you have, you want that intimacy. That's what you want.
Absolutely.
I started that morning, the woman came and got her out. She was like, Keisha, we weren't moving until 8 o'clock. We were making Matthew wake up and come out for the bed and get up Puerto Rico, I laid in my bed. I was like, then relationships will have you do some ill stuff. Like, you gave
You know
your
what it is?
furniture away.
It's freeing. It sounds crazy, but it's freeing.
I think that we give too much.
Yeah.
I think that especially as black women, because we want it so bad, we give too much.
She said she was still sleeping with him. I was like, why would you sleep with him? She was like, I guess he would wake up in the morning and I'd be there. She said I would just do it from the back. He just turn over, and she was like, and I just leave him. He'd do his business.
But it's an obsession. This is why it feels good, because I was that divorcing wife that left everything. And it wasn't like we had a whole bunch of hot shit, but we had our last place we lived in together was 5 floors with 2 rooftop decks, a backyard, and a sun porch.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, you gave
so we gave up some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Whether it was like good finds you had or good new shit you had or whatever it was. But when you let it all go, it is the most freeing thing in the world. Because I feel like, honestly, I'm not like so anti-capitalism that I'm not American. Because clearly we know where we are and we know what we're doing here, right? But at the same time, I'm over this commercialist bullshit. And I'm just kind of like, if it's not my kids or some activity that is contributing to our total enlightenment as a family, then it probably doesn't fucking matter. Right. And so the best thing about leaving all your shit and starting new is you get new stuff. And that's its own capitalist obsession. But
with the shit on our back.
Hell yeah.
$700 in my pocket, and what could fit in the truck? That whole.
I did it when I left Chicago. I did it when I left Philly, and I could care less.
When I moved into my place that I'm in now, I slept on air mattresses with my children.
Yep.
I didn't have anything.
Me neither. Yep.
Now I feel like I have everything that I need. After I've been settled in my space, like, and I look around, I'm like, Keisha, you don't need to buy anything. And it's like, speaking to that commercial, like, stop buying into all that stuff. I'm like, you have everything. You want to be on trend, you want to keep up, you want to be fresh or whatever. I was like, get your core, and after that, anything else is a plus, and you ask God to keep providing for you and keep holding you, keep walking you through the wilderness and the darkness and bringing you out on the light side. So other than that, you're good. Keep everybody safe and healthy, and I have a healthy
and keep your perspective. Because what she was saying about depression is real, and I only know, you know what I mean, because we've been thinking about this, we've been talking about it, it's been a feature. Thankfully, I've had a way to talk it out, right? It is your perspective, because sometimes it's really just it's almost like the only way I've heard it best is like the TD Jakes version of the self-help out of it kind of thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, if you get up in the morning and your glass is half empty, then fuck yeah, it's half empty. If you get up in the morning and your glass is half full, then fuck yeah, it is half full. Because ain't none of us running on empty.
You have so
like, not at all.
They can't necessarily bring you some of the joys that a partner can, but they bring you other joys that.
But that's the thing that they do. My kids, and it's the thing is that, you know, it's the.
Tell your daughter, she's so cute. Have her rub your feet. Come here, baby.
It's the unfamiliar that scares me, because I've always had someone. But I'm really okay. Like but I just think I'm like, oh shoot, like. There's no one I could call and be like, hey, I'm heading back to Jersey right now. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I've never done this. Like, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm not gonna have a text from someone saying, hey baby, good morning. Like, it's not, and it's just like on the one hand, I'm sad, but another part, I'm relieved and I'm happy, because my spirit knows this is exactly where I should be for me to take off. This is my my runway.
Distraction right now.
It's grinding season. That's the way I had it explained to me.
And it's like,